maybe we need to go bigger. Maybe 8 meters not enough. This episode is brought to you by our farm investor, Brian Oxendine. Thanks for being part of Andy's farm. Hey farmers, welcome back to Gnadenthal. Now we need to carry on with our prep because it's now November, but depending on what we go for, obviously it is going to depend on when we put the seed in. So the next stage is going to be putting the cultivator to good use. But the one we've got is a 6 meter, and those fields are rather big, so I'm thinking of potentially making a little bit of a bigger one, but getting a bit of a bigger one anyway. The only thing is price. Obviously horsepower requirement, yeah, we are going to be a little bit limited on that, but I've seen one, it's an 8 meter, so it's a little bit better, so I'm going to go with that. But we can put our one in as part exchange. We can make a bit of cash out of it, to be fair, which is alright indeed. So I'm going to go up the shop, because in here, in cultivators, this is the one we got there, the old Terrier 6040. I'm going to go get this one, the old Quirong HV. I mean, it only requires 160 horsepower. Well, actually, that's the smallest one. I know, to be fair, there we are. So the biggest one requires 160 horsepower. It's got an 8.3 meter working with. Yes, we'll have that whilst we're there, yeah, and then we'll get rid of the one we've currently got. So if we go into vehicles, we want to get rid of the old, was it a passenger? Where is it? Come on, Finn, I've got too much stuff. Dear, oh dear, got all this stuff there we are. So we can sell that. How much is that selling for? 44 grand. Oh yes indeed. So we bought one for 7, sold one for 44, so what's that? 37 grand. 37 grand profit just from swapping something out for a bigger version. Oh, that is all right. Right then, let's get this cultivating sorted. So that's the cultivating done, and to be fair, I thought the 8 metre would have been a bit better. Well, don't get me wrong, it was a bit better than than the 6 metre, but it's still taking most of the day to get all these fields done. Maybe I'm underestimating how big the fields are. I mean, particularly this field. I mean, this one is absolutely huge. Yeah, maybe we need to go bigger. Maybe 8 metres not enough. I mean, we've got it done in one day. So is 8 metre enough? I'm not quite sure. Yeah, maybe we need to go bigger. But if you go bigger, it's going to cost a lot more money, which we don't have. I mean, I suppose we could rent until we get enough cash to be actually buying our own stuff. That is an option. Alright, fair enough. That's the question answered anyway. Is 8 metre enough? Probably not. Depends on what sort of fields you got. But alright, fair enough.